I like a Rice Krispie treat before the game, and then either like a protein bar or like a protein shake after.
Post game, I love to go to Applebee's after with the guys, and that's just fun. And then pre-game, I don't know, for every away game we usually get like Firehouse subs. That's pretty nice.
Probably Firehouse subs for on the way. We usually get those for away games, and those are always good, never really disappoint.
Pre-game's usually just Firehouse subs, and post-game I just get dinner with my family.
I kind of eat light before the game, so like granola bar, peanuts or something. Post game maybe like pizza.
Post game, just Wendy's. It's just nice to have it. And then for pre-game, those Firehouse subs.
Well, just getting exercise, seeing all my friends, making more friends, and just getting better at the sport.
Like the teammates, the teamwork, just like putting in the effort, and it's really cool to see, like when you make a good play and then the ball goes over the net and hits on the other person's court. So it's just a really nice feeling.
Probably just the teamwork that comes with it.
Just being able to hang out with friends and just have a good time playing.
I like the team aspect and how everybody's just close to each other.
Favorite thing about volleyball is that like it's just a fun game to play. It's not like a super high stress game or anything like football is. It's just fun to go out and play.
Probably either going like to the beach, just hanging out on the beach, or like going to the mountains.
Just a bunch of beach volleyball with my friends, probably.
I always love a good beach vacation. It's fun being able to get out in the sun, swim around, stuff like that.
I prefer a beach vacation.
My ideal vacation would probably just be, you know, a beach vacation, like Outer Banks or something.
A beach vacation because you can play beach volleyball.
Probably either Tattoos by Tyler Childers, just because I like the melody of it, or Blue by Zach Bryan, because the lyrics are really nice.
I don't really have one. I just listen to whatever I'm in the mood for. Usually a Jack Johnson song. That's usually my go-to.
Goodness, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite song at the moment. I like to listen to anything, whatever comes on. I have like favorite artists, but I don't have favorite songs. Like I like Morgan Wallen, I like Tyler Childers, I like Zach Bryan. My favorite artists.
YMCA. It's a good hype song.
Probably In Bloom by Nirvana, just because it helps pump me up before the game. You know, it's part of my pre-game playlist, I guess.
Favorite song? Ooh. I like Les by Childish Gambino.
Hello everybody and welcome to Tornado Alley for tonight's non-section matchup in boys volleyball between the Butler Golden Tornado and the Norwin Knights. Butler and Norwin both come into this match with each one win. Butler though has one loss. They lost on Friday's opening day, losing in 5 sets to a good side in Greater Latrobe. Latrobe, who is ranked number 8 by Trib High School Sports Network on March 10th, 2025. That was in the preseason rankings. Norwin come in as a strong side tonight, ranked number 5. Butler ranked 3. The starting lines for both sides go as follows: Charles Tigilski, Christian Reeder, Dane Thompson, Nate Dewin, Jack Olshansky, And I believe that is the freshman Gavin Lovis rounding things out for the Knights. And then for the home Butler Golden Tornado, Mason Anderson, who is the Penn State Barron commit for volleyball. Congrats to him and good luck to him in his future. Mason McCall, Maddox McCall, PJ Logan Steimer, Alec Teff, and Andrew Slogenhop. Butler come into this season with high expectations. They expect to be one of the top teams in the WPIAL. Butler last year were the 3 team in the whole WPIAL. They lost in the semifinals after sweeping Penn Trafford in the quarterfinal after winning in 4 sets, in the quarterfinal round versus Penn Trafford. Norwin got beat at home as the 4 seed to Seneca Valley, and the first point of the night goes to the Golden Tornado as Logan Steimer scores for Butler, and we're underway. Again, boys volleyball goes as follows. It's a best of 5, first of 3. And Butler coming off of a nice win on Tuesday, winning in 3 sets. Knocking off the 2A champions of last year, the Mars Fighting Planets. And Lovas goes into the net. Mike Palashek, the coach for Norwin, had this to say after last year's playoff loss. Our conditioning killed us after playoff loss to SV. They lost in 5 sets. They did not play many 5 sets. They were the section champions last year, going an undefeated 10-0. And there's Christian Reeder, the sophomore, and he did not get much on that. It's an ugly starter for the Knights. Maybe just getting the rust off, as they've only played 1 game, played their first game of the season yesterday. And a win against Fox Chapel at home. There is Alec Teff, who recorded 7 aces in their win against Mars on Tuesday. McCall. Anderson with the dig, slogging up, just has to tip it over. Tagilski does well. McCall. Alphonse Semler. Duan couldn't get down. 4-0 Butler. It's a dream start here for the Golden Tornado. Right off the bat they go. Alec Teff, who was second team all section in 2024. And he gets his first ace on the day. 5-0 Butler. This has gone as good as it could have possibly started here for the Golden Tornado. Right off the bat, came off firing. Teff finds Tagilski's hands. Lovas. Tagilski finds that back corner nicely. Just outbeating Teff and getting Norwin their first point of the night. Charles Tagilski back to serve here for the Norwin Knights. Norwin lost a lot last year. Troy Horvath, Jackson Janicola, Ben Tagilski. I'm assuming it's Charles' brother. But they have some notable returners. Nick Ames, Dane Thompson, Nate Wilson, and Nick Puskarik. As there is Andrew Slogenhop tipping it over. Lovas does well. And Dane Thompson, McCall, Teff. And now Mason Anderson tipping it over. Lovas, nicely done there by Christian Reeder. And it seems as Nate Wilson, the senior, has checked in the libero. Norwin have picked up back-to-back points and have pulled it to 5-2. Nick Puskarik, the senior, had 12 kills in their playoff loss against Seneca Valley. We'll see what he can pull off here today. Puskarik not in the lineup currently. Don't know if he's playing tonight. Don't see him on the bench. The ball goes out of bounds and it's 6-2 to Butler. Cole Wojnar, the senior, to serve here for the Golden Tornado, wearing 22 in those blue and gold jerseys. Wojnar finds Tagilski. Lovas. Dane Thompson. Wojnar. Anderson. Semler. Tagilski does well. Diving was Reeder, and Tagilski just has to tip it over. And there was a violation of some sort on Norwin, and it's 7-2 Butler. Cole Wojnar to serve. Wojnar. Tagilski. Lovas. And a driving in was Nick Ames, the senior. The block was successful, but it goes out of bounds in the end. And it seems like the referee, Megan Lucas, is having a talk with the line judge. Line judge is one of Butler's JV players, it seems. And the point does go to Norwin. And for Butler, they have a lot of good returning talent. Andrew Slogenhop, Alec Teff, Mason Anderson. Anderson and Teff are both second team all section. Mason McCall who's wearing that number 15. He's not currently on, but he was third team all-section. Obviously losing a big player in Colton Welder, who committed to St. John Fisher. He was first team all-section. Just a star for the Golden Tornado. What a hope he would be to have him right now, but Butler seeming to do just fine without him so far. Sluggy just able to get it over the top of the net. Wonderfully done. Lovas, Dane Thompson, good block. Lovas, Nick Ames. Had a little assistance from the net, and Sluggy couldn't get down. It's 8-4. By the way, if you couldn't figure out by saying Sluggy, I'm referring to Andrew slogging up, number 17 for the Golden Tornado. Star junior for Butler. Can jump out the gym. And Dane Thompson gets support from the net and gets an ace. First ace of the night for the Norwin Knights. And it's 8-5. Thompson sends it out. 9-5 Butler in this opening set. Lovas, Dane Thompson, Alphonse Semler does well. Wojnar, Anderson. Bit of a miscommunication there by Norwin, and Tagilski just has to tip it over the top. McCall, Maddox McCall, that is, finding Anderson. Good dig. Now in the Nick Ames, who cannot finish the job. It goes out. They're asking for a deflection, and they get it. 9-6. And with much disapproval from the Butler bench, and now the point goes to Butler. Was it a tip? And the ball is out. It's Butler's point. Dane Thompson went up to the official just to double check, and it did not take a tip. Ball goes way out. 10-5 Butler. Alphonse Semler. Strong serve, but into the net. 10-6. And Nate Dewin into the game. Nick Ames out. Dewin, Wilson, Lovas, Oshansky, Tagilski, and Thompson. The 6 in for Norwin. Dewin finds Semler. He's going to find Wojnar into Alec Teff. Net violation, 10-7. Wojnar trying to find Teff, who was the Butler football quarterback this past season. Receiving some "you can't do that" chance from the Norwin bench, and that's a strong hit there from Peter Zulik. And it was too hot to handle there for Norwin. 11-7 Butler. Both teams come in pretty high, ranked by the Trib High School Network. Butler was ranked 3 in the preseason rankings, just behind Seneca Valley and North Allegheny. And Norwin was ranked number 5, it seems, just based off the rankings that Butler's section, which is WIPUL 3A, Section 3, seems like the strongest section in the WIPUL. Butler, Moon, NA, Pine Richland, and Seneca Valley, all teams that could probably go on to win it. Moon certainly underdogs. Net violation. And Norwin gets another point. Norwin, their section goes as follows. Section 2, Armstrong, Franklin Regional, Latrobe, who just picked up a victory over Butler this past Friday, Hempfield, Norwin, and then Penn Trafford. That ball goes way out. And it's 12-8. Semler checking out. Slugging up, checking in. And a timeout will be called. And it seems like it's going to be called by Palashek. And the first timeout of the evening goes to Norwin. We will take a short break with Butler leading 12-8. Welcome back, everybody, after that short break. Once again, I welcome you here to Tornado Alley in the Butler Area Senior High School Gymnasium. My name's Jake Kaufman, and we welcome you here to this great experience here on Butler Tornado TV. There is Anderson, the Penn State Baron commit. It sails long, and Norwin get the point, and Megan Lucas disagreed with the referee, with the line judge who called it out. Lucas calls it in. It's 13-8. A lot of disagreement here in the early goings between the two sets, the referees and the players. Another disagreement there by Palashek, and Anderson will go again. Anderson finding Wilson's dig. Lovas and Tagilski met at the net. Net violation, 14-8 Butler. Butler leading by 6. Anderson. And Duan just able to get down in time. Lovas, Tagilski, strong hit, but even stronger block. The duet of Teff and Steimer denying what was Charles Tagilski at the line, and it's 15-8 Butler. Anderson softly getting it over and slogging up, meeting it at the net as Lovas never went up for it, and it's an easy point for Butler, and it's 16-8. Mason Anderson to serve. Anderson and Sluggy once again met. This time though by Lovas, who did go for this time. Sluggy, nicely done there by Duan. Did the ball touch the ground? It did. 17-8 Butler. They're on a nice little run here, Butler. A 6-0 run. The first 4 sets are to 25. The last set, if needed, would be to 15. First to 3 is the aim. Wilson tipped over by Tagilski. Mason McCall met it into his brother Maddox. And Sloggin Hop gets it down in time, but it's going to fall into Duan. Tipped over the top again. Maddox, Mason, Alec Teff into Logan Steimer. Maddox McCall into Mason Anderson. Nicely met there by Nate Wilson. Lovas did well. Reeder did well as well to get it over. There's Steimer softly hitting it over. And a point going to Butler again, and another kind of violation again. And Palashek talking to the referee about something. There's been a lot of disagreement between the two sets. 18-8 Butler though in the meantime, a 7-0 run for the Golden Tornado. Anderson. Sloggy again. Wilson, wonderful dive to get down in time. And there's Steimer. And another point goes to Butler. You can tell by Norwin's body language, they are just not feeling it right now from the referee. Just so much disagreement between the two. A lot of calls going Butler's way at the moment in time. There's Anderson. No way that call is going to go Butler's way though, as that ball sails well out of bounds. And it's 19-9, and Norwin finally get a point back, trailing by 10 now. Norwin traveling from North Huntington Township tonight. A long drive, just a bit over an hour. Sloggy into the net. 19-10. Interesting though about the competition here this year in the Whippeal. A big dropout with Shaler, who was the back-to-back Whippeal champions in 3A. They graduated 11 seniors, so they made the drop to 2A. They're currently the #1 ranked team in 2A preseason-wise, as by the A10 Volleyball Club, who also does rankings. The A10 Volleyball Club, just to note down, had Norwin at the 10 and Butler at the 4. So it's pretty concise that Butler's a top 5 Whippeal team. Who knows where they'll be in the rankings, especially with that loss on last Friday. But if they win today, that would certainly rise it, and don't know what happened there. Butler has fallen asleep here in the past 3 points and let Norwin back in possibly. It's 19-12. Lovas, Maddox McCall, Mason McCall, and slogging up. Wilson does well. Lovas and Tagilski could never get to it. Just put in a bad spot and it hurt him in the end. And it's 20-12 Butler. Alec Teff to serve. Teff. Tagilski. Lovas. Tagilski. Alec Teff does well. Mason McCall now fighting Andrew, slugging up and denied at the net by Dane Thompson. The senior, one of the returning players for the Knights from that playoff team of last year and the section champions of last year, undefeated section champs may I add, denying Sloggy at the net and pulling it to 20-13. Charles Tagilski. Every point a must-win at this point here for Norwin, trailing by 7. Butler needing 5, Norwin obviously needing 12. Steimer does well, and it somehow is kept alive by the Knights. Wonderfully done. McCall, slug and hop. Saved again there, I believe, by Wilson. McCall, Anderson, and that ball sails out of bounds, and Norwin finds a way to win the point. Diving all over the place, and Norwin find a way to win the point. It's 20-14. Charles Tagilski once again to serve here for Norwin, trying to find some good luck here in the Knights. Alec Teff, McCall, Anderson just gets it over. Dane Thompson. I think Lovas, I believe that was. There's Thompson. Sloggy denying him at the net. Thompson diving, but not able to get to it. 21-14. Logan Steimer checking out. Peter Zulik in. McCall checking out as well. He's like Cole Wojnar back into the game. Wojnar. Tagilski. Lovas. Nick Ames. Teff. Wojnar. Slug it up. Strong hit. Got it down. 22-14. Pretty play there by Butler. And Andrew Slugenhop bringing the hammer down. And Butler lead by 8, just 3 away from taking this opening set here tonight. Ko Wojnar. And a call goes to Butler. Do not know exactly what the call was. Made a circling motion with his hands. Seems like a formation was wrong there by Norwin. I don't know exactly what the call was. Interesting call there by the referee. It's 23-14 Butler. Wojnar, Tagilski, Dane Thompson, and Nick Ames just has to send it over. Caused a bit of trouble there for Anderson, who dealt it comfortably though. And there is Andrew Slugenhop finding it. Once again, another kill for Andrew Slugenhop. He's been wonderful so far tonight here for the Golden Tornado, as they will have 10 set points to try to close off set number 1 here tonight in Butler on a Thursday night. Wojnar, Tagilski with the dig. Lovas digs it up, trying to set up Nate Wilson, who just has to send it over the top. Wojnar, Semler trying to close, and Semler wins the first set for the Golden Tornado. So Butler pretty comfortable. It was a pretty concise and nice set, pretty comfortable for them. They got the job done. They had a bit of bumps in the road, but they were able to just get the job done and win the opening set here in Butler tonight. We will take a short break in between all the sets. Butler leading 1-0 here tonight in a non-section WPIAL 3A matchup in boys volleyball. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Butler Area Senior High School Gymnasium, set number 2. Here between the Butler Golden Tornado, the number 3 ranked Butler Golden Tornado, and the number 5 ranked Norwin Knights. Norwin just let that first set get away from them. There was an 11-8 scoreline at one point. Butler goes on a big run and just pulls too far ahead for Norwin to even think about catching up. They lost that first set 25-13. And it was just not the way that Norwin envisioned that first set going at all. Obviously beating Fox Chapel last night. They expect a little bit better from their side. Mac Palashik and co hoping to pull one back here for Norwin and tie this game tonight. And what is opening nights for some team. Most Whipple teams have their season well underway. Butler, 2 games, we've already went over this. Butler getting the win against the defending 2A champions Mars on Tuesdays. Alec Teff led the way for Butler with 7 aces. Peters Look at 9 blocks. Alphonse Selmer with 11 kills. Mason Anderson with 14 digs. And Mason McCall had 16 assists. Butler hoping to go for the title, and Anderson gets the ace. Tagilski couldn't save. Easily done there for Butler. And they're starting right where they left off. Here at the Penn State Barron commit. Anderson finding Tagilski's dig. Lovass. Dane Thompson in trouble and just has to send it over. Teff, McCall, and Anderson. That was pretty. See why Penn State Barron were so fond of him. Just a pretty dink over the top. And it finds the ground, and it's 2-0 Butler. Anderson gets help from the net. Ames just able to get it over just able to find Lovass. Thompson blocked by Slogan-Hupp, but it lands well to bounds. And Norwin get their first point of the set, as Nate Wilson will check out and Jack Olshansky into the game for the Norwin Knights. No subs made so far here for Butler. Christian Reeder to serve for the Knights. Reeder, strong hit. Anderson, McCall, Teff. Reeder does well. Ogilski and Tagilski, and it's denied as Nick Ames sent it over the top, and it was denied initially there by Teff, but it was just able to make it over the net. And we are tied at 2. Christian Reeder finding Anderson. Mason McCall. Anderson slamming it home, and Butler go back into the lead at 3-2. And Teff sends this one straight into the net. Alphonse Semler checks into the game. We are tied at 3. Dane Thompson to serve for the Norwin Knights. Slogging up. McCall. Semler. Lovass. Nor Olshansky could deal with it. And Butler go back into the lead. Norwin had such a good side last year. One of the top teams in the Whipple. Unfortunately, they got upset in that quarterfinal round by the 5-seed Seneca Valley at their home turf. They went 15-3 overall in the record, and they went 10-0 in section, just dominating, cruising away with the section, cruising past second place Penn Trafford. Olshansky finding Teff. Wojnar. Semler had trouble getting around Wojnar, and he just had to tip it over the top. Lovass finding Nick Ames. Anderson. Slogan-Hupp. Wilson. Lovass. Nick Ames. Alec Teff does well. Cole Wojnar. Andrew slugging up, sending it over. Wilson does well. It's a long point here. And now there is Dane Thompson. Wojnar just able to keep it alive. Longest point that we've had by far. And Andrew slugging up, slamming it down and slamming it home. 5-3 Butler. By far the longest rally that we've had tonight. Most points tonight really have been quick and simple, with maybe just a couple back and forth. That one by far the longest and most skillful play by far. There is Nick Ames. Lovass. Anderson. Wojnar. Semler finds the ground, and Butler leading by 3. Norwin just must deny Butler of getting too far away like they did in that first set. Butler just got a lead that was too big to handle, and the Knights just simply could not grasp and come back from it as Wilson costly error, and it's 7-3 Butler. Nate Wilson, the senior, putting Butler up 4. Wojnar. Dane Thompson. Gavin Loves. Thompson. Butler's point again. 8-3. That is a 5-0 run here for the Golden Tornado. And Butler starting to build that lead. I spoke with some Butler players after their game against Mars. Even though they won 3-0 and the setting was pretty comfortable, as Wojnar sends one into the net to make it 8-4. They said they were very disappointed with how they played and said that they need to play a lot better if they expect to hang with the top-ranked team in the Whippeal, which is North Allegheny. Seneca Valley, of course, up there. North NA always up there. Always have good players coming through their programs. They are ranked unanimous number 1 by both ranking sites. As Semler didn't get enough on it. And Norwin pick up back-to-back points, and it's 8-5. Norwin bench pretty lively so far tonight. As Dewan sitting at the top here now, fighting Mason Anderson. Wojnar slogging up, gets help from the net. Loves tried his best, but the freshman just could not quite handle it. It was a very tough save to make, and he got a hand on it, but it goes deflecting into his bench. And Butler lead 9-5. Slogging up. 9-5 Butler lead. Nate Wilson. Tagilski. Olshansky. Never going to cause any trouble there for Butler. Semler gets it back and slams it down. Alphonse Semler rising up. All rise for Semler, and it's 10-5 Butler. Andrew slogging up once again here to serve here for the Golden Tornado. Wilson. Loves. Dewan. Wojnar. Alec Teff. Andrew slogging up. Dewan does well. Loves. Tagilski. Butler couldn't stop it. Wojnar and Semler, the duo, attempting to stop it as Christian Reeder will check back in here for the Knights. Maddox McCall back in for the Golden Tornado. The lineups goes forward for each team. Butler with Anderson, Teff, and McCall. Maddox McCall in the back row. Peter Zulik, Cole Wojnar, and Alphonse Semler towards the front to start off this point. Nate Wilson to serve here for the Knights. Slammed down there by Charles Tagilski. And it's 10-7. Norwin's lineup goes falls. Christian Reeder, Gavin Loves, Charles Tagilski starting in the front. Dewan, Dane Thompson, and then Nate Wilson, the libero, serving for the Norwin Knights. And Wilson, way too much gas on that serve, and giving Butler an easy point to pull their lead back up to 4. Wojnar, Anderson. Wilson couldn't handle it. The basketball hoop really helps them. And Wilson, what a wonderful play to get it over the top. Wojnar, and credit to Nate Wilson. Tagilski did very well to react to it going off of the basketball hoop. It's a low gym here in Butler. You just have to expect with those you just have to have a good reaction time, and you have to expect things like that to happen. Obviously, Norwin, you can't expect them to expect that to happen because they've probably never played in this gym. Most of these players probably haven't. But you would hope some of the upperclassmen have warned some of the freshmen and sophomore that are playing. As Dane Thompson sends it over the top, and there was a deflection. Thompson might have helped out the referee with that one a little bit, and he gets the point, and it's 11-9. And Norwin once again stating only had 3 losses last season, and one of those losses was to Butler. They lost in 4 sets to the Golden Tornado. See, Butler, a really good team last year. We're ranked number 3, just behind section rivals at the time, Shaler, who have dropped to 2A since then, and North Allegheny. Wojnar, Teff, gets the point. 12-9 Butler. And this is where things got ugly last time for Norwin. It was around this moment. It was 11-8 in favor of Butler, and then Butler just went on a big run and pulled away from the Knights, who are in their yellow jerseys here tonight. Mason McCall to serve for the Golden Tornado. Mason McCall. Tagilski. Loves, Thompson, and Logan Steimer rejecting at the net. And it's 13-9 Butler. Here's Mason McCall. Talented senior for the Golden Tornado. And we'll see what he can do. Mason. Wilson's dig. Loves is set. And Tagilski's hit. That took a clear deflection. and it's down to 3 again, 13-10. Charles Tagilski, whose brother last year was a core part of that Norwin team that went 15-3 and lost in the Whitfield quarterfinals. Ben Tagilski. Charles trying to follow in the footsteps of his brother. Tagilski. Semler. And Dane Thompson couldn't quite reach the outstretch of Maddox McCall. As there is Nate Wilson just getting it over the net. There is Mason McCall, Logan Steimer getting the point. I think Reeder or Ames got a piece on it. Couldn't quite see exactly who, but the point does go to Butler regardless, and it's 14-10 Golden Tornado. Mason Anderson. Tagilski, wonderfully done. Steimer. And they did just enough to mess up Norwin. Reeder went up for it and must have got some kind of tip on it. Dane Thompson and Nate Wilson colliding, and it's 15-10 Butler. Mason Anderson to serve. Had a couple of aces out of him tonight. McCall off the dig, finding his brother Mason and slogging up mishits. The misfire, and the point goes back to Norwin. Christian Reeder to serve here for the Knights. Norwin playing a back-to-back. Butler obviously got that day rest. That's Christian Reeder. Mason Anderson finding Mason McCall, and there is Alec Teff. Christian Reeder. Tagilski. And Maddox McCall came in finding his brother Mason. Pretty there by Mason McCall. Completely caught Norwin off guard. Just taking it over the net and finding that ground. Mason McCall. Smart play by the savvy senior. And it's 16-11 Butler. Both teams will both be in action at the Norwin tournament. Butler will now have their turn to travel down to North Huntington to play in a day-long tournament. With good teams like Pine Richland will be there as well. It's going to be a good tournament and something to keep an eye on, especially for Whitfield boys volleyball. Maybe an early Whitfield prerequisite. As a substitution being made, and for the first time tonight we are seeing number 19, the freshman Alex Sakunis, into the game for the Norwin Knights. Slogging up. McCall and Alphonse Semler, who led the Golden Tornado with 11 kills in their win against Mars on Tuesday, getting the kill there and pulling Butler's lead up to 5 and pulling them to within 8 of the second set. Cole Wojnar. Wojnar. Dane Thompson. Sakunis getting his first involvement tonight. And it's pretty. Oshansky slamming it down. And Butler lead by 4. And it's 17-13. Another substitution made here by the Knights. Nick Ames coming out and Ryan Dewan into the game for the Norwin Knights. And Dewan will be instantly put on serving duties. Dewan. Alec Teff. Cole Wojnar. Semler. That ball's out. And it's Norwin's point. 17-14. Hearing "Let's Go Norwin" chants from the Norwin bench. A lot more lively they are than Butler. There's a scoreline for bench heightness. Norwin would definitely win that stat for sure, but that's not what we're recording here tonight, as Andrew slogging up, doing the real playing on the court and pulling Butler up for 18-14 they lead. Andrew slogging up here to serve here for the Golden Tornado, slogging up. Finding Nate Wilson. Sakunis and Tagilski. Teff as well. That's going to get over the net, though. And rising up to it was the freshman Alexander Sakunis. And the point goes to Butler. Bit of confusion initially who that point was, but the point does eventually go to Butler. 19-14 they lead. Slog it up. Nate Wilson. Sakunis. Backwards set. Oshansky sent it in the net. It might have been a Zulik and Anderson block. Either way, it's Butler's point. And they lead by 6, and now they're within the 20s. And they're within 5 of the set. Slogging up. Nate Wilson. Sakunis just getting it over. Teff. Net violation. 21-14 Butler. Butler's lead up to 7. And they're starting to run away here with the set. It's once again starting to happen here to Norwin, where it's just getting a bit too little too late, and they're putting themselves into a bit too big of a hole. As Charles Tagilski, Sakunis, Tagilski. Strong hit. Teft as well. Wojnar. Semler just has to send it over. Sakunis. Wojnar. Anderson and Oshansky sending it back, but no, it went under the net. It's Butler's point. Looked initially that it went over the net, and it was going to be Norwin's point, but Oshansky never got the block in the end. And Butler's lead is 8. Sogging up. Tagilski. Semler! Big time hit over the freshman. And it's 23-14. Or by the senior, pardon me, Alphonse Semler. Slugging up. Wilson. Sakunis. Oshansky. Nobody's stopping that. Within 8. 23-15. Norwin needs to get going here. They need a big run. Do not want to be put into another hole of a lot of set points here for Butler to give them that advantage. Butler going to go up 2-0 on the night and move 1 set within the victory. Teff. Wojnar. Semler. Sakunis. Tagilski. Dane Thompson. Semler. Wojnar, that's pretty. And a net violation is in there somewhere. To who will the point go? It will go to the hosting Butler Golden Tornado. And Butler, just as they did with the last set, will have 9 set points. They had 10 set points last set point. I correct myself. This time they have 9. Still, it is a big and favorable lead here for the Golden Tornado. 24-15, they lead Sakunis. Tagilski to keep the set alive. Semler goes diving. Maddox McCall finding Mason Anderson. Hitting it over the top. Tagilski. Sakunis. Reader denied. Tipped over the top again. Teff. Anderson to close it out. Ball game. Mason Anderson takes the second set. And the Golden Tornado once again win this set here by 10. 25-15 this time they take it. How about these Golden Tornado here tonight? Just cruising past the Norwin Knights. And as we close the second set, is Butler, who have a 2-0 lead over the Norwin Knights, just 1 away from the victory. We'll take a short break.
What's the question?
Okay, I'm Kira Olivares, and I'm here with Simon Biankin right now. And my first question for you is, how do you like a competitive volleyball game?
It's so much fun. The atmosphere around it is incredible, and it's just awesome whenever you dig a great ball, you hit a great spike.
My next question is for you is, like, how do you keep calm under pressure when the tension starts to build up and it's like 23-24?
Just do your patterns, find your rhythm, and just get into position as quick as possible.
Okay, now I'm here with Avery Rudolph, and my first question for you is, how do you like competitive games?
Oh, competitive games are so much more fun because it's actually close. Whenever you just kill everyone, it's not very fun. You just point after point after point.
Is there anything you think you could improve on during this game versus Norwin?
Versus Norwin, I would definitely like to improve on my tipping skills. They weren't very good, unfortunately.
Okay, now I'm here with Jacob, and my first question for you is, how do you like a competitive game?
Oh, I love a good competitive game. It's nice being able to go out there and battle it out with a good team. Yes.
Do you think Norwin was a tough game to play?
I think it was pretty tough. They have some good hitters, some good passers. Their sets are really nice, so yeah, I think they're definitely a good competitive team.
Thank you. Okay. Now I'm here with Cole, and my first question for you is, how do you like a competitive game?
I always prefer a competitive game. You know, I feel like everybody's energy's up. It's just all more fun all around.
And my final question for you is, what do you think you could improve on from this game versus Norway?
I could definitely improve on some of our hitting errors. We had a couple in our first set, fixed up on them in the second, though.
Okay, thank you. That's all for today.
everybody, and welcome back to the Butler Senior High School Gymnasium. Butler got off to as good as a start you could possibly ask for. They won that first set 25-14, taking down Norwin quite easily in that first set, moving by a big run. And then in the second set, they won quite comfortably, once again winning 25-15. They've won both sets by at least 10 points. It's been a great start here for the Butler Golden Tornado. And thank you to some of the Butler junior varsity volleyball players for coming up and talking to our sideline reporter, Kira Oliveras. Much appreciated for them in growing their sport as well. Norwin, I don't know who exactly is starting with the serve. It seems like it's going to go to Norwin. Here's Nate Wilson. The senior will serve. The starting lineup goes as follows here for this third set. Andrew slogging up, Maddox McCall to libero from Butler, Mason Anderson, Alec Teff, Mason McCall, and Logan Steinman here from Norwin. Nate Wilson, Charles Tagilski, Gavin Lovas, Nate Wilson, Dane Thompson, Jack Olshansky, and Justin in the game, number 12, Wyatt Painter, the sophomore, the outside hitter, who just could not quite keep that one in play, and Butler gets the opening point of this third set. Alec Teff, nicely done there by Painter. Lovas, Wyatt Painter, and Painter not having good fortune right now at the net. The first point of the set, he was able to get the block, but not able to keep it in bounds. And then this time, his attempted hit got blocked. And Butler once again takes the point in an early 2-0 lead for them. Teff. Tagilski, and there is Andrew slugging up. That ball will stay in play. 3-0 Butler. And right now, I know it's very early to say in this third set, but Norwin just have not had answers here for the Golden Tornado. As long as Butler stops the service errors like that one there from Alec Teff, and they just stop the hitting errors that they were having in the first set that they were able to clean up eventually in that second set, and obviously closing off in that first set. Obviously they took the victory in both of those as a substitution into the game. Looks like checking back into the game is the freshman Alexander Sakunis. Once again here for the Knights. Mason Anderson, Mason McCall, Alphonse Sebler, strong block there by Nick Ames, and it's down to 1. It's 3-2. Once again, I thank you so much tonight for joining us here on the Butler Tornado TV. My name is Jake Kaufman. Here is Butler leading 3-2 in the third set. It is best of 5. Butler won those first two sets, winning the first set by a score of 25-14, and then winning that second set 25-15. Quite comfortably winning both of those sets. Norwin gave him a much better fight in that second set, but Butler is overpowering the Knights. And they're looking to do the same here in this third set to close out the match, as Alec Teff gets the kill, and it's 4-2 Butler, as Peter Zulik and Cole Wojnar into the game here for the Butler Golden Tornado. Wojnar, Nate Wilson, Sakunis, Olshansky, Wojnar, Mason Anderson, finding Peter Zulik, Nate Wilson, Sakunis, into Painter, who is rejected at the net by Peter Zulik. 5-2 Butler. Wojnar here for the Golden Tornado. Wojnar, Nate Wilson, Sakunis, Olshansky getting it down and slamming one home for the Knights. 5-3. Ryan Doohan here to serve it for the Knights. 5-3 in favor of the Golden Tornado in this third set. Butler's point, Semler's kill, Wojnar's assist, and Butler's 6-3 lead. Andrew slogging up here to serve here for the Golden Tornado. A 3-point lead here for Butler. Slogging up. Now finding Charles Tagilski. Sakunis. Tagilski. Nicely done. Nicely done there by Anderson. Finding slogging up, might have been overhit, and it was. Poorly done there by Andrew Slogging up, and he's taken out immediately afterwards. Maddox McCall into the game. 6-4 in favor of Butler. Here is Jack Olshansky. Olshansky. Maddox McCall overhit that one. And has paid the price. There's Charles Tagilski. Made him hurt for his fault, and he pulls Norwin to within one. It's 6-5. Jack Olshansky. Alec Teff. Wojnar. Sembler overhit it. Did it take a touch? It did not, and we are tied at 6. Norwin have won the last 3 points. And we got a ball game here in this third set, hopefully. We haven't been able to keep it close until we get around that 15-point mark for both teams, and then Butler have just pulled away in those first 2 sets. We'll see if that's the case here in this third set. And Peter Zulik most definitely wins that point there for the Golden Tornado. It's 7-6 Butler. Alphonse Sembler. Christian Reeder. Sakunis. Nick Ames. Nicely done there by Ames. Good technique. Getting it past the blocks of Anderson and Zulik, and we're tied at 7. Subbing in here for the Knights. Dane Thompson in as Sakunis will sub out. And it will be once again the freshman Gavin Lobes into the game here for the Norwin Knights. Subbing out Nick Ames. Lobes to serve. Semler. Wojnar. Teff. Wilson. Lobes. Into Charles Tagilski. And McCall didn't keep it up. And Norwin, for the first time in this set, have the lead. It's 8-7. 8-7 Norwin. Here's Gavin Lobes. Sembler. Wojnar. Sembler. Reeder was able just to do enough. Thompson couldn't get it over. And it's Butler's point. And we are all tied at 8. It's not been Norwin's best night. They are still very well in this third set. Still very well in this game. You'd be crazy if you say this game is over. Here is nicely done by Tagilski. Sembler did very well to keep it in play. McCall into Anderson. Thompson and Reeder, the duo are able to deny. He's going to find here to Nate Wilson, into Charles Tagilski. Finding Mason McCall, into Maddox McCall, into Alec Teff. He says over the top here to Dane Thompson. And we'll reset again with Tagilski with the hit. And Sembler with the dink. Now it's Butler's turn, and McCall tried it again. Norwin were equal to it this time. There is Alec Teff. Smart play there by Nate Wilson, the senior. Just able to know his lines and give Norwin the lead again at 9-8. Charles Tagilski here to serve here for the Norwin Knights, wearing number 18 in yellow. Can Norwin provide a lead over 1? Which I do not believe. That is something that they have had all night long. Maddox McCall. And Mason McCall must go into the stands. Finding Mason Anderson. Lobes. Christian Reeder. Slamming it home. And Norwin win the race to 10 here in this third set. And it's 10-8. Norwin opening this third set with a bit of juice. And they're playing a bit of desperation, which is exactly what they need to do. They lose the set, the game is over, and they're going home early tonight. Norwin trying to make this game last a bit longer. And trying to make the fans stay and watch a good volleyball match for a bit longer. Then Tagilski, though, won't be staying in this gym much longer if things like that keep happening. Tagilski sent it well over, and it's 10-9. Mason Anderson, here to serve for the Golden Tornado. Anderson. Tagilski. Maddox McCall. Mason McCall. Slug and hoop. And the ball is in. It will be Butler's point. The line judge for Butler called it in. And we are tied at 10. Mason Anderson serve. All square here at 10. Wilson, nobody even in the remote area to save it in. And Butler lead by 1. And a timeout called by Mike Pushalik. Third set here in Butler. 11-10 Golden Tornado looking to close out this WPIAL non-section matchup here between the Butler Golden Tornado and the Norwin Knights. timeout over. There for the Norwin Knights. They trail by 1. 11-10 here in this third set, trying to keep their night alive. Here in Butler tonight. Made a long trip. It'd be a shame if they got swept. Here is Wilson. Lovas. Dane Thompson. Strong head there by Thompson. And the experienced senior getting a nice hit there for Norwin and tying this thing right back up at 11. Just going back to what I said, you come all this way, you certainly do not want to get swept. Norwin are a talented side. They obviously expect better from themselves, and I'm sure they're going to provide a lot of fight here as we end tonight, win or lose. McCall. And there is Mason Anderson. Olshansky, nicely done there by number 12, Wyatt Painter, but in the end, no saving there for Norwin, and Butler go back ahead in what has been a seesaw third set so far. Just back and forth between the two sides. 12-11 Butler. Alec Teff. Wilson the dig. Slugging up the kill. Getting over the net and finding the ground. Butler by 2. A lead that has been... This is a big lead for this third set, but Teff setting it in the net and pulling it to 1 again. 13-12. Dane Thompson will check out here for the Knights. And checking in is number 19, Alexander Sakunis, and Nick Ames in, taking out the freshman Gavin Loves. Alexander Sakunis. Alec Teff. Mason McCall. And Andrew slugging up. Wilson did very well. Nick Ames. Olshansky. Mason Anderson slugging up. Alphonse Sembler. Tolgilski. Sakunis. Nick Ames. Mason Anderson. Mason McCall. Alphonse Sembler. Did that take a deflection? The answer is no, and we're tied at 13. Alexander Sakunis to serve. All square here at 13. Slugging up. McCall. Over the net. And Nick Ames sending it right back over him. Norwin taking a 14-13 lead. Alexander Sakunis. Norwin trying to lead past the 15 mark for the first time tonight. Something that they have not done. That they did not do in those opening 2 sets. 14-13 lead. Leaning on the freshman Sakunis. Slugging up. McCall. Sembler. Slugging up. Mason McCall into Alec Teff into the net, and Norwin win the race to 15. 15-13, and Coach Liparulo will take a timeout. And Norwin will head into this Butler timeout with all the momentum. 15-13, they lead 10 away from the set as they try to keep their night alive here tonight in Butler, leading 15-13. Welcome back, everybody, here to the Butler Area Senior High School Gymnasium. Norwin fighting back as they lead 15-13 here in this third set, just 10 away from taking this set as they try to stay alive here tonight. Nick Ames, it's going to be a race to Gilski. How in the world did he find a way to manage that? Wonderfully done there by Nick Ames and Charles Tagilski. The senior pairing slugging up, and Norwin, they deserve to win that set, and they got it. Jack Olshansky showing some emotion, and Norwin with a 5-0 run and leading 16-13. Norwin showing some heart here in this third set and showing why they were ranked top 5 in the WPIAL by Trib High School Sports Network and ranked top 10 by the A10 Volleyball Club. Alexander Sakunis slogging up. Mason McCall, Mason Anderson tipping it over. Sakunis, Nate Wilson. Not that pretty there by Norwin. McCall, Sembler, Nate Wilson, Sakunis, and Sembler slamming it back down immediately, but it's going to be Norwin's point. He went over the net. And Butler trail by 4, and the deficit just continues to grow here in this third set here for the Golden Tornado. Alexander Sakunis to serve once again. Norwin starting to find themselves here in this third set. Sakunis. Mason Anderson. Mason McCall. Slug it up. Gets the point. A much needed point there for Butler. It's 17-14. And coming into the game here will be Cole Wojnar and Peter Zulik. Mason McCall and Logan Steimer checking out here for the Golden Tornado. Wyatt Painter is into the game here for the Norwin Knights. Nate Wilson. And there is Jack Olshansky. And there's Nick Ames. Butler stays alive. Alec Teff. Andrew slugging up. Tagilski does very well. Sakunis denied at the net. There is Nick Ames, Mason Anderson, Cole Wojnar, and there's Andrew slugging up. He sends it into the net, and Norwin lead by 4. Just a different kind of pride and desperation being played here in this third set. Norwin, after every single point, just such a loud cheer from their bench, from the traveling fans who have made the at least an hour road trip here tonight from Pittsburgh here to Butler. 18-14 in favor, they lead. And there is some substitution. Confusion here possibly. Referee talking to the stat keepers there for the Golden Tornado. Ryan Dewan here to serve here for the Knights. Dewan, Alec Teff, Cole Wojnar. And there is Peter Zulik. Olshansky did very well. Sakunis. Dewan just sends it over. Alec Teff now finding Wojnar. Semler rejected at the net there by Ames. Might have been Olshansky also getting a piece in there too. Wilson, Tagilski. Point to Butler. And it's a 3-point set. Andrew slugging up here to serve for the Golden Tornado. Points are needed here for Butler. Tagilski. Sakunis. Olshansky. Did that hit the line? No. Butler's point. 18-16 and Christian Reeder will come in. Or no, it's Olshansky's came right back in. Here for the Norwin Knights. As Andrew's slugging up to serve once again. I don't think you can serve on the opposing team serve. Or sub on the opposing team serve. As Reeder, or that was Sakunis, pardon me. Either way, he gets over the net for the Knights. Semler, and the pair of Sakunis and Nick Ames. Miscommunication, and just like that, we're within 1. Butler won the last 4 points. It is 18-17. Pasternak will take a timeout, pointing to his set, saying, use your head, you've got to be smart. And Butler fighting back, trying to end this one early tonight in 3. Norwin trying to send this one to 4. 18-17, they lead in this third set. Back. Norwin have used their final timeout. Butler have 1 remaining. Once again, I welcome you here to Butler Area Senior High School. All the fans from either Norwin or Butler. My name's Jake Kaufman, and I welcome you on this ride with me. Butler trailing by 1, make it 2. Wonderfully done there by the Knights. I think that was Tagilski. Might have been Nick Ames. Didn't quite see it clearly from my angle. Either way, it's Norwin 19-17. They lead. It's going to be Nate Wilson to serve. Norwin just 6 away from the set. Obviously, if you've been watching tonight, you know this is by far the most points Norwin have got in a single set so far. Hoping to make it 25 and send this one to 4. Nate Wilson. Something was wrong, I think, with the serve. And Butler pull another one back. It's 19-18. And Alphonse Semler here to serve here for the Golden Tornado. Semler sending it over the top. Ryan Dewan. Sakunis. Nick Ames. Alec Teff. Doohan sends it behind him. And there is Nick Ames, Semler, Wojnar, and Alec Teff finding the corner, getting past the outreach. Nate Wilson, and we are tied at 19 in this third set. All of a sudden, all square. Here's Alphonse Semler trying to assist Butler into the lead. Doohan, Tagilski, Ames for the lead. Semler did well. Wojnar, Anderson, Tagilski, Nate Wilson, Nick Ames. Something was wrong again, and it's Butler's point again. 20-19 they lead. Maddox McCall is back into the game here for the Golden Tornado. Andrew Sauganop out. As with 5 points to go until the match possibly. Alphonse Semler to serve. Sakunis, Christian Reeder, that was pretty. Strong hammer time hit there by Christian Reeder, and we're tied at 20. And it's first to 5 here in this third set. And it is win by 2 in every single set, even the 5th set that goes to 15. You must win by 2. First to 25, but obviously if it's tied at 24, it's going to be first to 26, tied at 25, first to 27, and it goes on, etc. Here is Gavin Lovis checking back in for the first time in a while, and Lovis getting met with the strong hand of Mason Anderson. Butler by 1, and the Penn State Baron commit, making his actions felt immediately. 21-20 Butler. Butler's point. They lead by 1. Anderson once again causing problems. As a 21-20 score here in this third set, the lineups go as follows. Here for the Knights, Doohan, Dane Thompson, Ryan Wilson, Gavin Lovass, Charles Tagilski, and Christian Reeder. And speaking of Dane Thompson, here he is. But Maddox McCall did well. McCall had to deal with it off of the net. That was Mason McCall. Here's Lovass. There is Reeder, and there is Logan Steimer meeting him at the net. And Butler by 2. And Norwin starting to run out of time. Mason McCall. 22-20 they lead. Tagilski. Lovass. Tagilski. Don't know what that was exactly. He missed it horribly. Maybe tried to hit it cross court. Did not go his way. And Butler now lead by 3 and are starting to put a stranglehold here on this third set and on this match. Mason McCall. Wilson got for it. Lovass. Dane Thompson, they need it. Maddox McCall very comfortably deals with it. Mason McCall. Mason Anderson. Lovass. Wilson. Dane Thompson, that was needed. That was needed there for Norwin. It's within 2 and it's 23-21. Norwin trying to win as many points possible here to obviously keep their night alive and trying to avoid Butler going into a match point. Charles Tagilski here to serve here for the Knights. Tagilski. It's short, and that is just not the time to have a service error if you're Charles Tagilski and if you're Norwin. 24-21 in favor of Butler. And now Mason Anderson to close out tonight. Anderson into Nate Wilson, Gavin Lovass, Dane Thompson, Maddox McCall did well. It's reached down and Norwin stay alive. There was Wyatt Painter. And we go on for another point. It's 24-22. Nate Wilson, service error cannot be had. A second of a possible 3 match points here for Butler. Wilson, oh my word. It is a service error to end the match. And the Butler Golden Tornado take the game. They take the third set and they take the match. They take it 25-22 here in this third set. They took it 25-14 in the first set, 25-15 in the second set, and then they took it 25-22 in a very close third set, which Norwin had the lead for the majority, but Butler found a way to win. Norwin just never really had a stranglehold here on this match tonight. It was all Butler throughout. Butler showing why they are a top 5 team in the Whippeal. Obviously, they had a bit of a trip up in their first game against Latrobe, but in this nice little home stretch here this week, they're able to pick up 2 back-to-back victories. Both teams will be back in action on Saturday morning and evening, as Butler and Norwin will both be taking part in the Norwin Volleyball Tournament on Saturday. We take good luck to every team contributing in those tournaments. Once again, I thank you so much for joining us. My name's Jake Kaufman, and signing off tonight here from Butler. Butler take it 3-0 over the Norwin Knights in the WPIAL 3A boys volleyball action.
Getting the win.
My last question for you is, when tension builds up, how do you keep calm under pressure?
Either we go for a timeout to calm everyone down, or we just get together and make sure everyone's doing okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now I'm here with Cole, and my first question for you is, how do you feel about tonight's game?
I thought it went solid. I thought we really showed some grit towards the end and really closed it out there.
Do you feel confident for how the rest of the season is going to go?
Yeah, I think once we all start clicking, I think we'll get it in the bag.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm here with Alec, and my first question for you is, how do you feel about tonight's game?
I feel great. I think it was our best game so far, and I think we really played well together as a team tonight.
My last question for you is, what improvements do you think you could make throughout the game?
I think one of the biggest things is we just need to stay confident throughout the game and make sure that we don't let off the gas in the third set.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.